All right. So for those who can't basically join our sessions, hopefully they have different kind of way. Basically, you guys can actually streaming the sessions here. So I'm still recording the sessions as usual, and I'm going to upload back again in my YouTubes. Hopefully, the rest of you guys have basically subscribed my channels, right? Put a thumbs down or thumbs up with those channels there, and give a little bit kind of comment at the same times. All right, please do comment there, okay, on at the same time there, okay? So whatever that you guys want to interact with me according to those kind of platform, right, okay, you guys go ahead. Right, the most important thing about the final kind of assignments, which is our Malaysian folklore and folk tales kind of assignments, is how actually you're going to communicate with us there, okay, according to the understanding on the title itself there. So if you take a look here right now, okay, even though I actually have given some of the samples and also a reference, okay, about our third assignments here. Okay, this is some of the details that you might going to take as a guideline for you to have the proper kind of understanding, hopefully there, right, okay? So, and hopefully, right, you guys doesn't have to give some excuses, okay, like last semesters that no one actually know what basically they are going to do there, okay, to develop basically your kind of assignments there at this stage. All right, if you take a look at the suggestions title that I actually have given to you guys, there is 7 different kind of titles that you guys can choose, okay? It doesn't mean that each group has to choose only one title for you guys to work with. And if you take a look at all these titles that we have, around 7 titles there, right? You guys can choose at least 2 or 3 before you decide there, okay? Remember there, right? Don't decide in the early stage, okay, when you actually read or choose the titles yet there, okay? So that means if you doesn't know basically whether you want to choose the title of the Sang Kancil or Monyet there, okay, or Anak and Kura-Kura or Putri Gunung Ledang or whatever that title that we have, around 7 of them right now, try to seek for information first. All right, one of the most important thing that you have to remember right now and have to take notes there, right? For all these kind of 40% of full marks on these assignments, okay, on these assignments here, if you take a look closely, 20% of your marks from that 40% on the finals there, okay, are going to be go into your research, sketches, and your developments there. Developments, okay, hopefully everyone know how to develop there, okay? What are the meaning of development there? The process that you actually show bi-weekly, we have around 2 weeks there, okay? 3 weeks to complete there, right? The process that you have to go and also update with us later on bi-weekly about your progress. From your research there, okay? There's 2 different kind of research that you guys have to do there, right? The first one by reading and get information about the titles there. You guys can go through with Google's there, okay? And I give you guys also some samples before, but don't actually relying on only one, the reference that I actually show you guys, right? You have to go seek for your own reference there. Okay, when it comes to this kind of doing some research, okay, a lot of people always make mistakes. They only rely on one single kind of samples that we actually have given to you guys there. You're not going to be able to do more works from there. So if you don't actually willing to do more works from what we actually have been giving you guys, that makes you don't understand what basically you're going to do for your assignments. Don't be too naive to follow only one single kind of reference that we actually have given you guys. This is not a school spoon feed anymore. This is not a school, high school kind of methods of working there. But we did basically give you guys some informations there. Some of the important informations that you need to apply back again and to guide you to develop more and more kind of understanding about your works. Remember, guys, okay, you guys were actually in university there, right? Not in high school anymore. Whatever that we have been giving you guys the guideline, you have to search more from there. That's what basically university people actually have done. They do more research from there. That's make the difference between you and the high school students then. Okay, remember, okay, you're not actually in a high school anymore. People or teacher give you guys whatever that you want to pass the exam only there, right? But not be able to develop and improvise from there. That's not basically a creative process, okay? If we give spoon feed for you guys, okay, all the time there, okay? You just receive, but you don't apply there, okay? Even though basically in my methods, when I actually teach you guys, I give you guys a lot of information there. I give you guys a lot of demonstration there. But for some reasons, there's always people doesn't actually want to follow exactly what we told. Even though basically that's basically the right way for you guys to improve your illustration or drawing skills. So don't blame from other people's there about your kind of stubbornness or weakness there, right? Okay, you have to basically work on yourself also at the same time. Don't treat yourself like a schoolboy or schoolgirl anymore there, right? Okay, so remember that, okay, 20% of your research, visual research, information that you can give us and what we call that share in our folders in our Google Classrooms are going to be around 20%. Your sketches there, okay, let's just say you have 7 different kind of titles there. You choose at least 3 of them first. And then you start to sketch it out, some ideas there. You start to design your characters there, right? Okay. A few number kind of character, not only one single character, then you choose that characters to become your designer, right? Okay. That's not going to be work that way, right? You want to design, for example, a rabbit there, okay? Design a few number kind of sketches there before you decide. And don't trace from other people's artworks there. I don't want to see you guys, okay? A lot of people normally are going to do these kind of things there. They search for a rabbit, for example, okay? Character design. Okay? And they start to draw exactly look like what they saw from here. They just trace them back. If you actually work that way, and I can actually see that you actually plagiate or copy from other people's works without having a concern to change or to improve your kind of visualizations there, I'm going to show you, you're not going to pass the basically the assignments there, right? Okay. So if you want to develop a characters based on all these kind of titles there, you must be able to redesign your own way. How to work with it? Go refer back again to my previous kind of videos there, right? Okay. Last semesters, we have been go through a lot, okay, on designing the characters there, okay, develop the character, even though I'm using a different kind of way, but the methods how you actually going to develop your character design were in basically in most of the videos there. Remember that, guys. Use your brain to think, to analyze, to develop that kind of skills. Because I already show you guys how it works. All right? How to design the characters there before. So I don't have to repeat back again, even though I can actually choose some of the methods later on just to demonstrate to you guys there, right? Okay? but go refer back again to those videos there. I did a lot of character design last semesters. I did a lot of how to design the characters back again last semesters. Refer back again to those videos there. Don't be lazy to do some research. This is also a part of those research that you guys need to do back again to keep track what you guys have learned before. Okay? So don't let me show back again to your parents, okay, if you have those problems with the submissions later on, that I actually have given a lot of information before you're going to do your assignments there. So all this kind of thing have been recorded, right, okay? So don't let me basically to ask your parents, okay, to go through with all this kind of lesson that we actually have shown you guys before. All right? Take serious on your developments. Take serious on your developments there. So a lot of people make mistakes when they actually produce the assignments. They only provide only 1 or 2 sketches there, okay? Like a pro. And then they thought that they can actually get away with it and get past with the assignments there. Remember that, guys, 20% there, okay? What if basically, if you look back again to your rubric that I actually have given you guys before in our first week, if we just get around 5 to 10%, and the total kind of assignments that you get from the final assignments only 20%, for example, right? You need another 30% from the previous assignments to get you past. If you think that you can actually manage that kind of particular kind of way of working, you safe. So what I actually have shown you guys, also give you guys some example over here. Hopefully you guys take notes on that. All right. Sketch, research. What are the research? Okay, the visual research, right? Okay. This is a part of the visual research. It doesn't mean that you have to copy them back. I didn't teach you guys to copy from other people's work, but learn to develop understanding by creating the basic structure when you sketch, and then you apply on your own how it works. Okay. One of the way also that I actually teach you guys before there, okay, if you want to draw from the real photos there, okay, rabbit there, okay, this is basically that you can do. Remember about our previous kind of assignment exercise there that I actually demonstrate to you guys about this one. But I'm not actually giving you guys the story about the mouse deer and the crocodiles, hikayat sang kancil and buaya, because I already show you guys the demonstrations there. All right, I already show you guys the demonstration there. So I don't want you guys to follow exactly basically on the idea itself, okay? But you can still using one of the story from until end. Okay, I'll give you guys some samples there. Done. This is from animations. This is from animations there. You guys can use also this kind of reference only there, right? To guide you to develop your kind of understanding about your stories. And then you can actually use it as a part of your main kind of ideas to visualize them back, these stories there. These stories is all about a monkey basically doesn't want to hear about the warning on those from those mouse deer there, right? Okay, the mouse deer, the country actually, right, is warned the monkeys will forbidden to not to eat the chili there, okay, the fruit of chili there, okay, the veggies there, okay, but because of he's very hungry there, okay, and so he looked at those chilies there, okay, it looked quite bright in the color, quite nice there, okay, he thought basically it's quite delicious there. So this is the one of the stories that you guys can actually visualize them back. How actually you're going to visualize them between the monkey and also the mouse there, okay, is all based on your creativities in one single illustrations. In one single illustrations there. Sketch it out, your ideas there. I don't mean that you have to copy the same compositions like this. You have to create your own compositions there. You have to create your own kind of understanding there, layout there, okay? To arrange the characters together. All right? whether you want to design, okay, the conchil basically, okay, with the monkey, he saw basically monkey actually eat the chili before the disaster started, okay, it's up to you guys. You have to think about the composition there. I know that you guys read a lot of comics before and get some of the composition before, right? Okay, on some of the assignments, this is the time for you to test basically your kind of understanding from here. But don't copy or capture the same kind of compositions like this and then put it into your final illustrations there. Right? You have to create your own kind of way there, right? Okay, to work with that. That's why we have to do a few number kind of sketches there. How many sketches there, right? According to the same title, for example, there, right? Minimum is 10 that I actually have to take there, right? Okay. Minimum sketches that you need to apply, basically around 10. Okay. There. All right. 10 different sketches there, okay? Minimum. You go less than that and the sketches doesn't actually show a lot of understanding on improvement on your kind of visualization on your works. So I assume that you're not actually doing your job well from there. Okay, remember that. So sketches are really important there before you're going to finalize them. All right. And if someone actually write, just submit only sketches there. Of course, you only get around less than 20% of your final works. Okay, you will get only less than 20%. Right? You won't be able to get a full marks from there. Okay, understand that, right? If you submit only final assignments, you avoid producing your sketches, your research, your developments, your update progress, and you thought you're doing well from your final assignments there, look like a pro, I'm still going to be giving you guys not more than 20%. You won't be able to get the full marks there, okay? Because the full mark of your final only 20% overall from that 40% of your works there, okay? Because we divide into 2 different stages. If you don't divide into 2 different stages, you won't be able to understand the importance on doing research there. Remember, okay, you guys basically as students. Students need to provide some research, some finding before they do those final works. Basically, that's basically a criteria as a student there. If you're doing some assignments for the final year projects, also the same thing. Okay. So the criteria that we actually do normally in our methods of system there, right? Okay. I'm going to show you guys how it works over here. So this is not basically only from my class, okay? When we do those final year project for the seniors, okay, they will have also the same kind of criteria, okay, and you won't be able to escape from here. So you have to get used to it. Right now, I actually have divide for you guys to understand about, okay, how much time and amount of work you have to spend for each kind of progression into the finals there. It's very clear from here there, right? So don't try to cheat yourself or say, well, I don't understand that, okay, why I have to work on that? Come on, guys, you have to follow basically the regulations here. I want to show you guys what basically other than me actually have done, okay, like Miss Teng with me there, okay. She actually have given more specific there, okay, and more detail there on the criteria on the submissions there. You won't be able to escape from here. But normally for me, I actually always give more chances for the students there, okay? Chances mean, okay, I give them a little bit kind of time to develop and give more chances basically to improve from there. You take a look, this is one of the criteria there, okay, of our submissions there. So this is basically what we actually have done. Poor progress there, right, around how many? 1 to 4. This is some of the criteria that we do, and the same thing that I actually have done with you guys before. Okay, when it comes to evaluate your works here. Our rubrics there, okay, have been stated right here. Marking guide there, right? Always remember that. Okay, this is basically your rubric there, okay? What makes you fail basically, you demonstrate and educate, right, capacity of applying analysis information that is sufficient grasp or subject matters that last there, okay? And evidence of limited command of relevant knowledge base. You're not actually giving enough kind of understanding on your own works, not mine, your own works, okay? You don't show your own kind of understanding from there. One of the things that people doesn't show understanding because they don't ask questions. They don't actually ask questions. They're just asking questions among yourself there. Right. For some reason, sometimes students ask their friend and they learn also from their friend. If you want to learn from your friend, you ask your friend back again. Is they actually have the diploma like you guys or not yet? Or they have the license basically that actually eligible enough for you to understand what they've actually have understand about your lessons there? Are they the one actually teach you guys the lessons? Even though we can actually share information with your friend, with our friends, yes. But if you want to have the right answer, you have to ask us. Simple as that. Okay? Otherwise, you take diploma with your friends lah. You ask your friend whether they can give you guys a diploma, okay? Sign your names on that. Simple as that. Right. So I have this kind of what we call that thing that have been discussed with your friend before there, right? Some students say this, some students say that. Okay, they're assuming that they don't actually go through back again to the resources there, right? I'm actually your resources. Mr. Zinye and also Mr. Firdaus also will actually ask me for some of the suggestions. All right, simple as that. You don't ask me back again more how to develop your works. Is your choice. If you fail, it's basically your choice there, okay? Your fault, not ours there. Okay? Simple as that. You don't actually follow exactly, and also you don't ask for any kind of suggestions that I can actually give you guys after this. Is your choice, not mine. You guys are around 100 and something here there, okay? 100 plus there, okay? Of your amount of your, what we call that, people actually in your groups here. I won't be able to go through with you guys if you not actually came to me in the first place. Right? If you don't ask me directly, individually, I won't be able to keep track with you guys there. Okay? You guys had around 140 plus there, right? But if you don't actually play your own role there, okay? To play your own roles. To participate with the discussions there. I won't be able to keep track with you guys until I'm going to give those marks. Okay? The deadline are going to be on Sunday, week 7. Sunday there, right? Week 7, the deadline. 6th December 2020. Anyone who late, I might going to be knowing that, okay, normally there is someone actually we're going to be late there. But if I don't actually get those kind of marks, those kind of evaluation kind of visuals there until the end of Sunday midnight, I'll assume that you're not actually right. Submit your works, and the next Monday I'm going to finalize all those marks. Remember, this is basically a short sender, okay? Our job basically are going to be a bit more, what we call that, shorter than the submissions deadline are going to be shorter than before. Okay. So I have to make sure that, okay, on Monday, I'm going to finalize all the marks there, right? In week 8 there, right? Week 8. And there is no excuses for you guys. You guys only have 3 subjects this semester. Okay? No excuses there. If your parent actually call me or I call your parents back again like last semesters, right? I will raise this kind of questions there. They have only 3 different assignments, 3 different kind of subjects this semester there, right? Well, so what makes that they cannot actually commit with their works? They say online, we cannot actually escape from here. But you guys still can consult with me individually using the video conference or consultations there, right? So there is no excuses for you not to commit with your works here. It's all up to you guys there how it works. Act like an adult right now there. Don't act like a child anymore. Okay? Be responsible to your works. All right. Any questions there so far? Okay, this is a few kind of number of research that you guys can go through in YouTube other than what we call that a sample of illustration based from what we call that the assignments there. And if you go through it, one of my link that I actually have given you guys on our Google Classroom about illustration tutorials, there's a few number kind of way in visual. You can see how people actually develop the picture book, storyboard, illustration, sketches, to give you guys more kind of understanding how it works there. Designing the composition for the characters. Of course, this is not basically a math formula there, right? That you have to follow exactly whatever that we do, right? Like, for example, I draw this particular kind of compositions. Everyone have to follow exactly what I showed there, right? Okay? The same subject matters, the same kind of compositions there, the same kind of backgrounds there, right? Okay? This is not basically a coloring book or high school kind of methods of learning anymore. This is only a guideline for you guys, the method that you guys can improvise from here. Right? But the techniques that I actually have shown can be used in any other kind of subject matters or characters there. Don't be too naive there, okay? Oh, I have to draw a crocodile only there, okay? Come on, guys. Think smart there, okay? The methods can be applied in different kind of way, but you have to spend your time to practice your techniques. You have to practice them, right? If you assume that you can actually get the whole thing, one day or 1 week only to get the whole kind of understanding how it works, it won't be able to get it right. Okay? All right, any questions then so far about your third assignments?
Sorry, may I ask something?
Yes. Yes, Wengjun.
When we design our when we design our character, should we do like last semester, draw the front and side?
It's up to you there, okay? Because when it comes to the developments, the characters basically there, right? Because when you talk about designing the characters, it has to come with a purpose there, right? Because normally there, okay, professionally, when we actually want to design a characters, we have to go through with that kind of process. Not because I actually wanted to see whether you actually can understand about all these three different kind of position or not, but it's basically for your own kind of usage there, okay? Because in animations, in any kind of visual kind of developments or content or project that we need to design a characters later on, okay? Not only for this semester, not only for this particular specific subject, right? When we design the characters, yes, as a designers, as a character designers, we have the responsibility to design every single angle for our characters there. Otherwise, we won't be able to understand whether the design it will be work or not for us later on. Because when it comes to design the compositions that we talk about here, all right? But if you use photos, for example, like this one, yeah, so like you only refer only one single kind of what we call that sample of what we call the position only there. And what these characters do, huh? Fighting there, right? But if you really want to understand about how to design the characters, for example, like a rabbit or bunny there, right? You need to understand the whole structure that even though you are going to use this, basically these characters is a part of the one single images there, okay? One single subject there, right? Okay, let's just say you're basically going to draw a rabbit, okay? But what are you going to do right now? If you want to design that, first of all, you need to develop your understanding first. Even though, okay, I show you guys before, if you want to draw a rabbit, for example, like this one, right? You just trace them back. But the problem is, if you want to develop your understanding by creating your characters in the futures, not only the specific for the subject there, don't get confused there, right, okay? But the process are going to be the same. You want to design something basically from any different kind of form there, right? This is basically the basics kind of understanding that you have to apply, even though you want to trace those subject matter back again. Even though you're not going to draw as a part of those, what we call that design that you're going to use like this later on, but this were basically the foundations, how actually you're going to understand about to develop a basic structure for any other kind of form of your design, especially character design or any kind of what we call that characters later on. Right? You must be able to understand first how basically you are going to develop that kind of understanding there first. All these kind of basic structures there. If you go seek for some of the lessons that have from the internet, right, okay, on the Googles or YouTube, there, right, they have the same kind of way of working. Right? Understand the whole structures before you're going to add some detailing there. When I actually have developed that kind of understanding on my own design, for example, there, right? Am I actually referred to any cartoons right now? No, right? Why? Because I actually have developed my kind of understanding there on the basic structures before I'm going to design my characters there. Right? Even though I'm going to use cartoon, right? Okay? I bet there's a few number of students later on going to ask me, okay, can I draw cartoons? You can do whatever that you want, okay? From collage, digital collage, cartoon, character design, manga styles, anime styles, what style that you want, okay? Mama styles also can, okay? Or Chinese kind of Mi Kung Fu kind of styles also can, right? It's all based on your creativity, say how it works. You want to roti canai, rojak, mi goreng, there, okay? Whatever that you want, Western pizza, steak, there, okay? Whatever that you want to put on your tables for your design, you can do it as long as you understand how it works here. You want to draw some tortoise, okay? Okay, right now, basically, I'm using my own imaginations there to draw, all right? See? Using a basic shapes. But this is not my final design. I can do more and more and more if I want to. Okay, before I'm going to finalize that. Everything using the basic shapes. And then I will spend my time to paint them back. This is a part of the sketches that you have to apply with your reference before you're going to develop your kind of final design there, right? A lot of people miss this kind of process. They thought they can do like a pro there, right? And finally, when they present your works, it looks sucks there, right? It will look that they don't understand what basically they have been done there, okay? Because they don't spend too much time to develop that kind of understanding there. Even though when you want to draw from the reference here, like this one, for example, okay? This is your basically your guideline, the reference that you have. Or you're going to use these photos back again. For example, right here. Okay. Illustrate them back. Let's just say you're going to redraw, or maybe you're going to use this method that I showed before there, right? This one there, right? Just trace them back. Okay, for example, like this one there, right? And then you start to paint them. Okay, start to paint them there, right? So what you can do right here, you start to this is something, because this is basically only one of the options there, okay? That you guys can actually use to develop your understanding there. You start to paint. It doesn't mean that so erase it directly. Okay, let me say I have a new few number kind of what we call that brushes that I actually find quite interesting there. Like this splat kind of tools there, right? Just like a watercolor splat. Right? So let's just say I'm using this one. See? To give different kind of methods there on my presentations. I'm using this kind of drip kind of splat there again. I used a lot of this kind of brush before. Okay, the size to get kind of like a watercolor style techniques there, okay, and combine it with the different kind of feel there, right? Look and feel here. So what I can do from here, okay, let me see there. I finish them. I can actually redraw the eyes over here. Okay. Quite nice kind of brushes there. But this is not only the only techniques that we can apply when it comes to develop your kind of understanding on your works. Let's just say that I'm going to add a bit kind of shadows right here. Like this one there, right? Okay. Just want to play around with it there. But by the same time, these techniques, the requirement for these kind of techniques, you must be able to develop your kind of understanding on using the tools at the same time. Okay, using the tool at the same time there. So don't basically, right, felt that, oh, when I use these tools, I can escape from understanding about the rules of making the visuals there, right? No, they're not going to be work like that. Okay. The requirement of designing back again this stuff is based on your kind of understanding back again when it comes to design some of the details there. Okay. The requirements are going to be a bit more higher there, right? Looks like easy there, okay? But if you don't actually understand how it works to visualize things in the right way, you're still not going to be succeed with it. That's why don't take too granted, okay, from what you learn here. So you must be able to seek some of the details there before you're going to use these methods there. But I give you guys some examples here right now, how to work with it, how to have different kind of options when it comes to develop your kind of way of illustrations. Okay, of your illustrations there. We're not talking about that. One is quite easy there to work, but you see back again how it works there, right? The visuals there, right? Itself there, right? How to represent, okay, the whole ideas of this kind of techniques into your works at the same time, how to add some of the details there. Right? Some of the detail that you don't see from what actually draw before, analyze them to give more impact on your kind of presentations. Basically, it's not that simple there. But this is one of the options that you guys can use to develop your kind of visuals. Right? Different kind of way of visualizing those illustrations. Visualizing those illustrations there. If you don't actually have the right kind of skills to basically draw your characters. This is one of the brush basically that I kind of love to use, okay, to give more options, okay, for my presentations. See the visual effects there, right? But everything has to become with the creativity, right? You cannot actually rely only from the tools to get it right. But I did show you guys right now how it works there. Okay, these methods basically I'm stealing there, okay, from one of the famous children book illustrations artists, Eric Kyle there, right? But I'm using my own way there. See Eric Kyle there, okay? I'm taking his kind of methods there, but he's doing manual there, okay? Traditional kind of methods there. Using watercolors, ink and paint there, okay? To design his own collage on those character design for his children's book illustrations. It's one of the famous children's book illustrations there. I'm not actually saying that you cannot actually draw in different kind of way, but or you want to draw your conventional kind of way, like anime, manga kind of styles there, right? Go ahead there, right? Okay, you're going to draw some, but I want to give you guys some examples and options there. Other than using those conventional kind of way, we're using a different kind of way of working. Okay, and the combination between the colors that I use right now there, guys, also have different kind of impact on your visual symptoms. Okay. I can draw the tortoise over here, right? I can even basically capture basically a shadows over here to add some of the details there. Either I can use the same colors over there, copy and paste, and multiply, see, to show some of the details, or I can paint them back. Right. Even though I want to draw some tree from here, all right, my own kind of tree there, right? But I'm add new layers there first. Using lasso there, right? But the colors of the tree has to be a bit kind of very, sorry, there, right? Very soft kind of tone there, right? Okay. Right here. Okay. I'm not going to use because I want to show some depth of fields there, right? Okay. Remember about the lesson that you did for photographies there. The depth of fields there. The shadows came from there. Right? The shadows there, right? Okay. The light came from the top there, right? Can you see that? Got some tree there. Does it look like a tree? It doesn't mean that you look like a tree and leave there, right? Those are basically some of the phrase. So to draw the branch of the tree there, right? A lot of people make mistake where they don't actually draw a tree a lot. They don't understand how the physical of the tree going to be affected with your design there, with your designs. You just simply draw without having a lot of understanding on your own research. So this is what I can do with my tree over here. When I have this kind of understanding, I can draw back again. I can actually copy back again. I can even actually change the colors if I want to make it a bit more difference there. Okay, depth of fields that we're talking about there, right? And do more from here. Scale it down. Show the distance there on the visual itself. And from here also I can actually go to image, adjust, maybe hue saturations there, right? Okay. To show some depths of fields. And I can even also draw or paint basically, okay, the mountain directly, for example. For example, to show some distance. What are the colors of this mountain directly or hills there from the distance? Different kind of brushes over here to look. Okay. It looks like easy directly for you guys to work there, depending on how actually you're going to work with it. Okay, look like transparent. Okay, how actually I'm going to work on that? Okay, I'm doing some selections over here by selecting these images there. Okay, but by selecting these images, but I basically activate these kind of layers there without selecting them. What I can do, I can delete this part there, right? But no transparent anymore there. what we can do here, save the files there first. When you do those kind of what we call that experiments, this is a part of the experiment there. This is a part of the research there, right? On your own assignments. Week 5 demo there, right? Lecture class, session 1. Right. I actually introduced you guys this one of my weapons there, okay? One of my weapons or one of my secret kind of recipes, okay? Not secret recipes that you eat at the restaurant there, okay? That kind of brand is not there, okay? My secret recipe is to visualize your illustrations here, because I find out this is one of the best options also for those who actually cannot draw well, but he can do more research from here. What I mean, Raki, if you want to develop your understanding to develop this kind of illustrations, for examples, you need to practice, develop that kind of sketches that improve, Raki. This is also part of my sketches that, for me, this is part of my sketches, Raki. Before I finalize them, experiment the techniques first. Then you actually can send the JPEG files, right, to your progress. Okay, to see whether it works or not that way. Okay, so sketches doesn't have to be draw only sometimes. They can be a part of your experimentations on using the tools to develop your understanding later on when you want to develop your kind of styles of presenting your works. But it doesn't mean that each one of you guys have to follow exactly, but I provide you guys some methods that works. You want to go from the methods that I show you guys before in my channels, go ahead, okay? Because last semesters, I did give you guys a lot of examples there. We're using the conventional kind of styles there, right? Using some conventional styles to paint, all right? But right now, what I'm showing you guys today, or previously from the lessons that we actually have given last week, okay, is to develop different kind of styles there in illustrations kind of books. Make yourself, your options more open up into different kind of value of your works there. It's just like when you eating, if you eat everyday bread there, okay, or roti, for example, or Maggie, okay, can you survive there, okay? Maybe 1 or 2 days or 3 days, maybe you can survive eat Maggie all the time there, right? Talking about 1 year there, right? Talking about a month there, or 6 months of PKP there, okay, or MCO. Can you eat Maggie all the times? Different kind of what we call it flavors there. I don't think so. Okay, I used to do those kind of things the same there, okay? If I eat Maggie, they basically okay, for the rest of 3 days, for example, there, right? The 4th day, basically, I cannot actually taste anything delicious about that Maggie anymore there, okay? Because I felt like I'm eating some plastic there, right? Same goes to design, same goes to illustrations there, okay? You need to provide yourself enough options for you guys to develop your understanding there in visualizing things in the right way. But I'm sure you guys, one of the professionals way for you guys to work without having a lot of obstacles, challenges to draw them back. You're using reference to works with it. But when I draw the tree, even though it came from my imaginations, but basically I have referred a lot before this how to draw trees there, okay? Or if you think that you need more kind of focusing how actually I visualize them, I can show you guys maybe later on there towards, okay? So any question there so far about the methods and technique that you can execute there? Don't think that, okay, you can master all these kind of methods and techniques of illustrations by only producing one drawing for 1 week. Right? If you actually think that way, you're wrong. All the thing that I've done for you guys, basically, I've been trained for so many years there. I'm doing also some real jobs on that, real kind of works there, right? Before I can actually teach people there how it works. Okay. So that's why I'm giving you guys all these kind of tips, all this kind of stuff there and skills there, okay? So you can actually have your own kind of path later on or route later on to develop your creative kind of journeys there. That's all. Okay. That's basically the lessons that I try to give you guys there, because I want you guys to have the kind of understanding there, okay? And you can have your own options later on to choose which part that you want to go there, okay? But if you really want to go with it, you have to sacrifice your times, your kind of energy to develop that kind of skills from time to times. That's why we need to have at least 10 different kind of idea development or sketches, including your research. Don't ask me, okay, do we need 10 research of visual and 10 research of sketches? Don't ask me that kind of questions anymore. You provide your own kind of way of producing your kind of reference, sketches, research, not for me, for your own right. Not only for the marks, for your own understanding. Why we actually have to do all this kind of stuff there, okay? To make sure that you understand what basically you need to do. That's basically the reasons there. Not because to provide the research only to get those marks there. There's a few number kind of students previously, they copy all the research from their friends. They thought by copying the reference from their friends, they can get the marks there, okay? If your research doesn't affect your works there, it doesn't do anything to your works there, okay? There's no point. Some people actually, right, okay, they get all this kind of reference there, right, okay? The reference basically is very, very detailed there, okay? All this kind of illustrations, okay, let's just say they get all this kind of reference like, for example, like this. Okay. This is their reference there, for example. Okay, this is my reference, that's right, okay? But when they draw, okay, when they draw them back there, okay? They're not going to be look like this. Most of them, they kind of like draw like this one there, right? See? Their research is quite heavy there, okay? They're quite detailed there, right, okay? But suddenly, right, okay, their drawings are going to be look like this, for examples. See? The proportion is out there, right? The proportion is out. Okay? So it's not going to be work also. Remember that. Okay? Any one of you guys actually have done the same thing there, okay, before. Avoid that. If you cannot draw anime, manga styles, I don't say that you cannot draw right now. You have to ask yourself whether you can actually develop that kind of styles or not. If you can't, find one of the best way as an illustration student or multimedia to survive in different kind of ways. If you're not actually eligible enough, okay, you don't actually willing to sacrifice your time to develop the right kind of skills, don't try to be wannabe there, okay? Wannabe there, okay? See? This is what wannabe do there, okay? They pretend that they want to draw manga, but the proportion also wrong. They draw hands also wrong already, okay? I'm not saying that you cannot draw, see? But the thing is, you don't go through with my lessons before you're going to understand how it works. I have given a lot of suggestions before, okay? How to make it right, okay, when you want to draw there, okay? But when you turn out to draw like this, come on, right? Okay, don't try to make your presentations look bad there, okay? Unless you mean it there, right, okay? Unless you really mean it there, right? Right? Don't try to pretend that when you draw manga, you will look cool there, okay? Is it cool like this? Right. So don't make yourself, okay, when you present your works, they look ugly there, okay, on your presentations. Right, they look worse there, okay, from your reputations there. Because as a multimedia students, as a design students, you have a lot of options that you can choose. Why you have to choose one particular kind of styles only? And at the same time, you're not actually ready enough to draw like that. So find a different way to produce your illustration work first. Open up your mind there. If you want to be creative, you want to be succeed, you have to open up your mind there. You have to know basically what your needs, what basically you're willing to sacrifice before you're going to develop any particular kind of styles there. Don't close your mind into one single way, and by the end of the day, you won't be able to see your improvement there, right? If you don't take my words like this, there, okay, try to learn also from the Googles that if you can, okay? Because I actually have given a lot of ideas, samples to work. I'm not saying that you cannot draw, okay, but the problem is when you design like this, when you draw like this one, okay, it doesn't show basically you have a lot of understanding from what you actually have been go through with our lessons before. It takes a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice to develop the skills there. And by right, to test basically your kind of skills, it's simple step. This is one of the good examples that we have from Pinterest that you guys can use. Even though I kind of doesn't like Pinterest a lot because they give a lot of samples, but sometimes people cannot decide whether it's right or not for them to work. Okay, this is one of the good examples there, from sketches into illustrations. About the format there, okay, it's up to you. This is a landscape format because they want to show basically the environment at the same time there, okay, to work with the compositions. Okay, we can see a lot of good compositions. Compositions, yes, you can follow some of the compositions from here, okay. So can you see the right now? This is some of the ideas of designing the characters, developing the characters' ideas there, and using different kind of styles that works. Okay, we have a few number kind of title like Hikayat Hang Tua with 5 brothers there. You can use to design the human kind of characters, right? You can use also, you can actually choose Putri Gunung Ledang, okay, as a part of your, you can actually, if you want to design Putri Gunung Ledang look like anime, manga kind of style, go ahead there, if you can draw anime styles there. If you're willing to practice yourself within these 2 weeks to practice those anime styles, go ahead. It's all up to you guys there. But I really doesn't like to see when people draw like this one. Okay? Even though you want to design chibi characters also can, right? I'm not saying that you cannot draw chibi characters there, right? But I have given you guys also some tips to design chibi characters there before. I don't trace from other people's works like this. Okay, suddenly this design become a Putri Gunung Ledang there, right? Okay? You draw your own chibi character style there, develop your characters there first before you're going to copy your other people's work there, right? I don't actually teach you guys to trace. Okay, you want to design your own chibi characters there, go ahead. For example, like Putri Gunung Ledang there, right? What are the elements that you can actually learn or develop from Putri Gunung? Okay, this is one of the, what we call that some of the popular kind of design that people actually have done. This is basically from one of my friends, right? He is one of the teacher from the high school there, okay? From school there, okay? Maslina Matnor, okay? She's actually one of my friend on Facebook. We met each other, I think, twice. Okay, this is his style, right? Her style, okay? But if you think that, let's just say you want to design Putri Gunung Ledang your own way, for example, like a chibi characters there, right? can do it as well if you want to. Oops, sorry, brush. And then this is brush. Okay. Okay. Draw TV characters. For example, like this one. Okay. Cut it right a bit. Has to be a bit more sexy here. Okay, what are the things, the elements that Putri Girondang have from here that we actually can use? Maybe because of face, right? But I'm using, for example, there, right? Okay. One of the style that I actually can produce right now. Let's see. Yeah. Sketches there first, guys. Always start with sketches there. So she's actually right having this kind of dress over here, right? Even though I'm sketching different ways just now, okay, it doesn't mean I have to follow back, okay? So she's basically have the caress there, right? So this is a part of the sketches there, guys, okay, that we can actually produce at the first stage of our design. He's wearing this kind of what we call that the ear kind of piece over there. Get to works. Right, the first sketches of Putri Girondang using the chibi styles of chibi characters. I can redraw back again from this part, okay, to create different kind of styles there based on the same positions there, right? Okay, maybe it's a bit look more evil a bit, but basically I'm not actually planned that way. And I kind of drawing different kind of earpiece there. And different kind of hairstyles they may be there, right? It works. It doesn't have to be the same, the whole thing there, okay? So sketches, right, it doesn't take too long. Normally sketches won't take too long there, right? Okay. Rough sketches that we're talking about here. Two different sketches there, okay, for a few seconds. This is basically what we develop the ideas there first before we're going to finalize them. Okay, and then you put into your compositions what are the elements that from that stories that can be used also. Okay, sometimes, okay, you have to draw two different characters there, right? This also has Hang Tuah with the Putri at the same time there, okay, that you can actually compose together if you want to, okay? Or maybe you can draw the characters actually, right? Riding basically the horses there, okay? You have to design the horses there, okay? So there's a more than 2 or 3 different elements that you guys can use later on to develop basically your kind of illustrations there, or compositions here. Okay, I'm not saying that you cannot draw chibi characters or anime styles, but draw in the right way, produce them in the more proper way there, right? Okay, don't make your works become a bit kind of a shame on yourself there because of the lack of understanding. That's all. The resolution are going to be 200 dpi only, not 150. 200 dpi only there, okay? I don't want to go into 300 dpi, even though that's basically the most accurate and standard kind of resolutions. okay? Because maybe you guys have played game a lot with your computers or laptop, okay? I don't want to get affected with your files, kind of what we call that spaces there from there. All right? Okay. Any questions there so far for our assignments at the moment? Okay, Wengjin? Understand, right?
Understand.
Okay, good. Any questions there so far, guys? Everyone? Okay, please basically go through, okay, and also check back again, okay, update with me later on. And hopefully, okay, this session will give you guys more kind of clear understanding about our final assignments there. All right, and the demonstration that I give you guys. All right, guys, these methods and techniques can be applied also with those Hang Tua or Putri Gunoledang there, okay, or Putri Pakma there, okay. Putri Pakma, there's a few kind of elements that you guys actually can use also at the same time, okay. So if we're going to go through a bit back again from there, it's very, very limited. Okay, I know basically, right, the thing that I give sometimes is very limited. Okay, I just simply give. This is also one of my friends there. Okay, Putri Pakma have a different kind of elements, and also you can actually read down also the informations about Putri Pakma there. Okay, informations there before you're going to design that. It's very quite interesting there, okay, how actually you can to develop back again all this kind of Malaysians kind of identity kind of stories into your styles there, Japanese manga, Asian kind of styles there, or experimental, unique kind of way to approach on your design and your works there. But her kind of design, basically a little bit kind of naive illustration styles there. Naive illustration style, the children's styles of drawings there, right? But you guys can actually produce better than this one. Because this kind of peoples basically, they doesn't get a formal kind of educations in art-based, right? You guys have. So you basically have more kind of advantages to develop more kind of good kind of understanding to produce those illustrations there back again. This is basically one of the challenges that hopefully you guys will open up your mind to develop your kind of way of working in the future. Okay. So if there are any questions, thank you very much for having me today. So group 1 and 2, I will see you guys, okay, later on for our sessions around 12 o'clock there, right? And 2 o'clock. And good luck with your assignments. I will update with you guys also from time to time, okay, for our assignments and also the folders that which will give you guys the way to update your progressions there, okay, bi-weekly. Okay, so update with me and update with all of you. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day and good luck there, okay, with your third assignments. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Okay, thank you there. Bye.